The Fiat 500 is not merely a car, it is a cultural phenomenon that has punctuated the history of Italy and the evolution of urban mobility for nearly 7 decades. To understand the Fiat 500 is to understand the socio-economic shifts of post-war Europe, the rise of the fashion-forward automotive accessory, and the current global transition toward electrification. From its inception in the late 1950s to its modern status as a chic electric vehicle, the 500 has consistently balanced a tiny physical footprint with a massive personality. The story begins in 1957 with the Nuova 500, designed by the legendary engineer Dante Giacosa. Following World War II, Italy was a nation in need of affordable, reliable transportation to replace the ubiquitous scooters and motorcycles that dominated its narrow, ancient streets. Giacosa's masterpiece was a marvel of packaging efficiency. It was a rear-engined, air-cooled microcar that measured less than 10 feet in length. Despite its size, it could theoretically fit 4 people, though comfort was a relative term. The original 500 utilized a 2-cylinder engine that produced a modest 13 horsepower, but because the car weighed very little, it was nimble enough to zip through Rome or Milan with ease. Its iconic rounded shape and folding canvas roof, originally a cost-saving measure to use less steel, became the definitive aesthetic of the Italian Dolce Vita era. It wasn't just a vehicle for the working class, it became a symbol of Italian ingenuity and charm, eventually selling nearly 4 million units before production ended in 1975. After a 30-year hiatus during which Fiat produced more utilitarian models like the 126 and the Cinquecento, the brand realized that the market was ripe for new retro design. In 2007, exactly 50 years after the original launch, Fiat introduced the modern 500. This version took the visual DNA of the 1957 classic, the circular headlights, the Whiskeran logo face, and the sloping rear, and grafted it onto a modern, front-wheel drive platform. This transition marked the 500's evolution from a necessity for the masses to a lifestyle choice. It was no longer the cheapest car on the market, instead, it was marketed as a fashion accessory. Fiat leaned heavily into personalization, offering hundreds of thousands of combinations of colors, decals, and interior trims. This era saw the 500 become a global success, proving that consumers were willing to pay a premium for a small car if it possessed enough character and heritage. It also birthed the Abarth 500, a high-performance variant that turned the cute city car into a pocket rocket, with a turbocharged engine and a notoriously aggressive exhaust note, appealing to enthusiasts who wanted track-ready performance in a tiny package. As the automotive industry shifted toward sustainability in the 2020s, Fiat faced the challenge of modernizing an icon without losing its soul. The result was the new 500, or 500e, launched in 2020. Unlike previous attempts at electric versions, this was built from the ground up as a dedicated battery electric vehicle. It grew slightly in size to accommodate modern safety standards and battery technology, but it retained the unmistakable silhouette that defines the nameplate. The 500e represents a significant step up in luxury and technology, featuring Level 2 semi-autonomous driving and high-quality interior materials, including recycled C plastics. It was designed to solve the modern urban dilemma, providing a zero-emission solution for congested cities where parking is scarce but the demand for style remains high. With a range of nearly 200 miles in urban cycles, it proved that an electric city car could be both practical and desirable, winning numerous awards for its design and efficiency. Beyond the technical specifications, the Fiat 500's longevity is rooted in its emotional resonance. It is one of the few cars that transcend social class. It is as comfortable parked in a luxury driveway in Monaco as it is on a cobblestone street in a rural village. Its design evokes a sense of friendliness and optimism, qualities that are often missing in the aggressive, oversized styling of modern SUVs. The car has been featured in countless films, art galleries, and fashion campaigns, cementing its status as an enduring piece of industrial art. Whether in its original 1957 form, the 2007 revival, or the latest electric iteration, the Fiat 500 remains a testament to the idea that great things come in small packages. It continues to be the benchmark for the city car segment, proving that as long as there are narrow streets and people who value style, there will always be a place for the Cinquecento.